The massive alien ship hanging above Earth looked like a shining diamond in the sky. It was 3 times bigger than the biggest human spaceship ever built. Captain Mike Thompson stood at the main window of Earth space station, his gray eyes fixed on the alien vessel. "They're asking to meet us again," said Tom, the young communication officer. His hands shook slightly as he held the tablet showing the alien message. Mike sighed. The last 3 meetings with the aliens hadn't gone well. The aliens, who called themselves the Star People, kept laughing at human spaceships. They said Earth's ships were too simple and primitive. "Tell them we'll meet," Mike said. He was tired of their mockery, but as Earth's main space captain, he had to keep trying to make peace. An hour later, Mike sat in the station's meeting room. Across from him sat the alien leader, Captain Rix. Rix had blue skin that seemed to shine and eyes that looked like golden coins. 4 other Star People stood behind their captain. "Your ships are still using rocket fuel?" Rix asked, his mouth turning up in what humans now knew was their version of a smile. "How cute." Mike kept his face calm, though his hands tightened under the table. "Our ships work well enough," he said. "Well enough for short trips maybe," said Rix. "But they're so slow. We watched your best ship take 3 days to reach Mars. Our smallest ship does that in 3 hours." The other aliens made clicking sounds, their way of laughing. "Speed isn't everything," Mike said. "Our ships are strong and safe." "Safe?" Rix's golden eyes widened. "Your ships are metal boxes flying through space. One big rock hits them, and boom." He spread his 6-fingered hands wide. "We're surprised your people even made it to Mars without killing yourselves." Mike thought about the Unity, Earth's newest spaceship. It was almost ready for its first flight. The Unity was different from other ships. It used a new engine that the best scientists on Earth had worked on for 20 years. But the aliens didn't know about it yet. "Maybe you'd like to see our newest ship?" Mike asked. "It's almost ready." Rix made a dismissive gesture with one of his hands. "Another slow rocket ship, I'm sure." "Listen, Captain Mike, we came to offer help. Let us give you some of our old ships. They're still better than your best ones." Mike felt his face get hot. The aliens wanted to give Earth their hand-me-downs, like parents giving old toys to a small child. "No, thank you," he said firmly. "We prefer to build our own ships." "Such pride." Rix shook his head. "It will only hold your people back." "But as you wish." He stood up, his tall form towering over Mike. "We'll come back in 1 Earth month. Maybe by then you'll be ready to accept our help." After the aliens left, Mike called Earth's main space center. "How soon can the Unity be ready?" he asked Dr. Anna White, the lead scientist. 3 weeks, she said. "But Mike, we haven't tested the new engine in deep space yet. It's risky." "We need to show them what we can do," Mike said. "Get it ready. I'll lead the first flight myself." Over the next 3 weeks, hundreds of workers got the Unity ready. The ship looked simple from the outside, just a long white cylinder with wings. But inside, it held humanity's greatest achievement, the spacefold engine. The day before the aliens were due to return, Mike stood in front of the Unity with his crew of 5. They had trained together for months, preparing for this moment. "Remember," Mike told them, "tomorrow we're not just testing a new ship. We're showing the universe what humans can do." That night, none of them slept well. They all knew what was at stake. If the new engine worked, they would change how everyone saw human spaceships forever. If it failed, well, they tried not to think about that. The next morning, the alien ship appeared right on time. Mike sent them a message. "Captain Rix, would you like to watch our new ship's first flight?" "Of course," came the reply, with those clicking laughing sounds. We're always interested in seeing human attempts at progress. Mike and his crew boarded the Unity. As they went through their pre-flight checks, Mike could almost feel the aliens watching, probably already preparing their jokes. "All systems ready," said Jack, the ship's engineer. "Spacefold engine is powered up." Mike took a deep breath. "Send this message to the alien ship, watch carefully. You might learn something new about human ships today." He pressed the engine start button. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the stars outside began to stretch like lines of light. The spacefold engine hummed louder. "It's working!" Jack shouted. "The fold is forming." The Unity shot forward faster than any human ship had ever moved before. The space around them bent, folded, and suddenly they were somewhere else entirely. "Location check?" Mike asked, his heart pounding. We're just past Mars," said Lisa, the navigator. "We did in 5 minutes what usually takes 3 days." Mike allowed himself a small smile. Now it was time for part 2 of their plan. "Take us back," he ordered. When they reappeared near Earth, the alien ship was still there. Mike opened a communication channel. "So, Captain Ricks," he said calmly, "what do you think of our primitive ships now?" For the first time since they'd met the Star People, there was complete silence from the alien ship. Mike smiled. This was just the beginning. The Unity would show everyone that humans didn't need hand-me-downs from other species. They could build amazing things all on their own. They just needed time, and a little motivation from those who doubted them. 3 days after the Unity's first flight, the alien ships started arriving. Not just the Star People anymore, but ships from 10 different alien races. They all wanted to see the human ship that could fold space. Captain Mike Thompson watched from Earth Space Station as another group of alien ships appeared. These ones looked like giant silver wheels spinning slowly in space. "They're requesting permission to send representatives to the station," Tom said from his communication station. "That makes 15 different alien groups wanting to meet us now." Mike nodded. "Tell them they can send 2 representatives, just like the others." The meeting room was packed. Aliens of all shapes and sizes sat or stood around the large table. Some had scales, others had fur, and a few were just clouds of colored gas in special containers. Captain Ricks of the Star People was there too, but he wasn't smiling anymore. His golden eyes were narrow as he watched Mike enter the room. "So," Mike began, "you all came to see our new ship?" A tall alien with red crystal-like skin stood up. "We came because we don't believe it," she said in a clicking voice. "No race has ever developed space-folding technology on their own. The Star People shared it with most of us." Mike felt pride fill his chest. "Well, we did it on our own. Would you like to see how fast the Unity really is?" "Yes," said another alien, this one looking like a giant blue cat. "We challenge your ship to a race. From Earth to the edge of your solar system and back." The room filled with alien voices agreeing. Mike thought for a moment. The Unity had only made short jumps so far. Going to the solar system's edge would be much harder. "I accept," Mike said. "The race will be in 1 week." Later, in the Unity's engine room, Dr. Anna White wasn't happy about the race. "The engine needs more testing," she said, checking readings on her tablet. "A jump that long could be dangerous." "Can it be done?" Mike asked. Anna ran her hand through her gray hair. "Yes, but we'll need to make some changes. The engine has to be stronger." For the next week, the Unity's crew worked day and night. Jack, the engineer, barely slept as he helped Anna improve the engine. Lisa studied new ways to navigate such long jumps. The whole world watched and waited. The day of the race came. 5 alien ships hovered near Earth alongside the Unity. They were the fastest ships from 5 different alien races. Each one had won many races before. Remember, Mike told his crew, we just need to finish the race. We don't have to win. But it would be nice to win, Jack said with a small smile. The race would go from Earth to a point just past Pluto, then back. The alien ships could all fold space too, but they used the old way the star people had taught them. A signal flashed. The race began. The Unity's new engine hummed to life. Space bent around them, and they shot forward. Through the front window, Mike could see the other ships, streaks of light racing through the folded space. First fold complete, Lisa called out. We're past Mars already. The Unity was in third place. 2 alien ships were ahead of them, one looking like a silver arrow, the other like a black diamond. Second fold starting, Jack said. The engine's hum got louder. They passed Jupiter, then Saturn. The Unity moved up to second place as one of the alien ships slowed down. Their old folding technology can't handle the speed, Anna said, watching her screens. But our engine is doing great. They reached the race's turning point past Pluto. The Unity spun around smoothly while the other ships had to slow down to turn. We're in first place. Lisa shouted. But then warning lights started flashing. Red lights blinked across Jack's control panel. The engine's getting hot, he said. The long jump was too much. Can we make it back? Mike asked. Anna's fingers flew over her controls. Yes, but we need to do something different. Jack, remember that trick we talked about? Jack nodded. The double fold? But we've never tested it. No choice now, Anna said. It's that or lose the race. Mike looked at his crew. They all nodded. Do it, he ordered. Jack and Anna worked together, their hands moving fast over the controls. The engine's hum changed to a deep roar. Hold on. Jack shouted. The space around them didn't just fold, it folded twice, like a piece of paper folded over itself. The stars became long lines of light, then disappeared completely. For a moment, everything was dark. Then, suddenly, Earth appeared in front of them. We're back. Lisa said in shock. We just jumped across the whole solar system in one go. They had won. Not just won, but finished the race while the other ships were still near Neptune. When they docked at the space station, reporters and aliens were waiting. Captain Rix pushed through the crowd. How? He demanded. How did you do that last jump? Mike smiled. We didn't just copy the old way of folding space, he said. We found a new way. A better way. That night, Earth celebrated. But in the Unity's engine room, Anna and Jack were already working on new ideas. If we can fold space twice, Anna said, I bet we can fold it 3 times. Mike looked out at the stars through the station's window. The aliens had stopped laughing at human ships. Now they wanted to learn from them instead. Humanity had proven itself. And this was just the beginning. 2 months after the Great Race, Earth had changed. Alien ships filled the skies as visitors from across the galaxy came to learn about the new space-folding technology. But not everyone was happy about Earth's success. Captain Mike Thompson sat in his office on Earth Space Station, reading reports about strange ship movements near Jupiter. Alien ships were gathering there, but no one knew why. Captain, Tom's voice came through the speaker. The Star People's ship is requesting an emergency meeting. Captain Rix says it's urgent. When Rix entered Mike's office, he looked different. His blue skin was pale, and his golden eyes darted around nervously. You must stop sharing your technology, Rix said without greeting. The Watchers are coming. The Watchers? Mike asked. Who are they? They control technology sharing between species, Rix explained. They gave us our space-folding technology thousands of years ago. They don't like it when races develop advanced technology on their own. Mike frowned. Why not? Because they can't control it then. Rix's hands shook as he spoke. Your double-fold jump scared them. They're afraid of what humans might develop next. As if to prove Rix's warning, alarms suddenly blared through the station. Tom's voice came over the speakers again, multiple ships appearing near Jupiter. They're heading this way. Mike rushed to the window. In the distance, he could see new ships approaching. They were huge, each one bigger than a city, and black as space itself. The Watchers, Rix whispered. They'll demand you stop all space research. If you refuse. He didn't finish the sentence. Mike called an emergency meeting with Earth's leaders. Within an hour, the Unity's crew gathered too. We have options, Dr. Anna White said. The triple-fold engine is almost ready. It's not tested, but dash. No. Rix interrupted. The Watchers can detect normal space folding. That's how they found you. Normal space folding, Jack said slowly. But what about our new way? Anna's eyes lit up. The double fold uses a different method. And the triple fold would be even more different. Could they track it? Mike asked. I don't think so, Anna said. Their detection systems would be built for their old technology. The Watcher ships were getting closer. They would reach Earth in 6 hours. Get the Unity ready, Mike ordered. We need a plan before they arrive. In the ship's engine room, Anna and Jack worked frantically to install the triple-fold system. The rest of the crew loaded the ship with everything they might need. Even if this works, Lisa said as she checked navigation systems, where would we go? I have an idea, said Mike. But first, we need to get Earth ready. He sent messages to every major city. If the Watchers came looking for Earth space technology, they wouldn't find it. Everything would be hidden. 5 hours later, the Unity lifted off. The Watcher ships were close now, so close that they blocked out the stars. A deep voice boomed across all communication channels, this is the Watchers. Your unauthorized technology development must cease. Prepare for inspection and technology removal. Mike opened a channel to Earth's cities. Is everyone ready? Ready, came the replies. Now, Anna. The Unity's new engine roared to life. Space didn't just fold once or twice, it folded 3 times, creating a new kind of jump that had never been tried before. The ship shot forward, but instead of jumping away, it began a complex pattern. Up, down, across, the Unity jumped around Earth in a spiral. It's working. Anna shouted. The field is forming. As the Unity moved, it left behind a trail of folded space. The trail grew, spreading out to surround Earth like a bubble. The Watcher ship stopped. Their deep voice came again, what is this? Our sensors detect nothing in this sector. Earth has vanished. Mike smiled. The triple-fold jump hadn't just moved the Unity, it had created a field that hid Earth from the Watchers' technology. They couldn't detect anything inside the field, not even normal space folding. Shield is stable, Jack reported. Earth is completely hidden. Rix, who had stayed to help, stared at the screens in amazement. You didn't run, he said. You protected your whole planet instead. That's what humans do, Mike said. We don't just solve problems for ourselves. We solve them for everyone. The Watcher ships hung in space, their sensors sweeping back and forth, trying to find Earth. But they couldn't penetrate the triple-fold shield. They'll have to leave, Rick said. They can't stop what they can't find. Mike nodded. And while they're gone, we'll keep developing our technology. Not to control others like they do, but to explore and learn. Other races will want this shield technology, Rick said. And we'll share it, Mike replied. The right way, by teaching, not controlling. As they watched, the Watcher ships turned away. Earth was safe, hidden behind its shield of folded space, ready to develop new technology without fear. Humanity hadn't just proved they could build amazing ships. They'd proved they could use their technology to protect and help others. And that, Mike thought, was the greatest victory of all. 1 year had passed since Earth vanished behind its shield of folded space. Inside the shield, humanity thrived. Outside, the galaxy changed. Captain Mike Thompson stood on the Unity's bridge, watching his crew prepare for another test jump. The ship had changed too, now twice as large and filled with new technology that humans had developed without fear of the Watchers. Triple-fold engine ready, Jack called from his station. The engineer's console now had 3 times as many controls as before. New targeting system online, Lisa added. Her navigation screens showed things no human had seen before, paths through space that weren't just shortcuts, but whole new ways of moving. Begin the jump, Mike ordered. The Unity lifted off smoothly from Earth Space Station. They passed through the shield, now so common that most people forgot it was there, and into open space. Starting first fold, Jack said. The ship moved forward, but something was different. The stars didn't just stretch into lines, they twisted into shapes no one had seen before. That's strange, Anna said from her science station. The fold is creating new patterns. Before anyone could respond, the ship shot forward faster than ever before. Not just a triple-fold jump, but something more. We're past Jupiter already. Lisa shouted. But I didn't set those coordinates. The Unity kept moving. Past Saturn, past Uranus, past Neptune, faster than any jump they'd ever made. Engines doing something new, Jack reported, his hands flying over controls. It's like it's learning, finding better ways to fold space. Finally, the ship stopped. But they weren't anywhere they recognized. Location check? Mike asked, trying to keep his voice calm. Lisa stared at her screens. According to these readings, we're 50 light-years from Earth. The crew fell silent. Their longest jump before this had been to the edge of the solar system. 50 light-years was beyond anything they'd thought possible. Look! Tom pointed out the main window. In front of them floated something impossible, a massive space station, bigger than anything humans had ever built. But it looked old, ancient even. No power readings, Anna reported. It's been abandoned for thousands of years, maybe more. Captain, Tom said, I'm picking up a signal. Very weak, but it's there. Put it on speakers. A voice filled the bridge, scratchy and faint, to any who find this place, we were the first ones. We developed space folding. The Watchers were our servants, meant to share our knowledge. But they turned against us, forced their control on younger races. This station holds our true legacy, the knowledge we meant to share freely. Use it wisely. The message ended. Mike looked at his crew, seeing the same amazement on their faces that he felt. The first ones, Anna whispered. The race that actually invented space folding. And the Watchers weren't supposed to control it. Jack added. They were supposed to share it. Mike made his decision. Prepare for docking. We need to see what's inside that station. The Unity moved carefully toward the ancient structure. As they got closer, they could see writing on its walls, symbols that looked similar to the math formulas they'd used to develop their own space-folding technology. That's why our method worked differently, Anna said, studying the symbols. We discovered the original way, not the limited version the Watchers spread. They docked successfully, and the crew put on their space suits. The station's halls were dark and dusty, but still strong after thousands of years. In what seemed to be the main control room, they found more than they'd ever imagined. Huge databases filled with scientific knowledge. Designs for ships that could do things they'd never dreamed of. And most importantly, the truth about the Watchers. They were afraid, Anna said, reading through the ancient files. The first ones wanted all races to develop freely, to learn and grow at their own pace. But the Watchers thought that was dangerous. They wanted control instead. And now we can prove it, Mike said. We can show everyone the truth. But as they prepared to leave, their ship's sensors detected something. Multiple ships were appearing nearby, Watcher ships. They must have detected our jump somehow, Lisa said. Mike smiled. Good. Let them come. Sir? Tom looked worried. We're not running this time, Mike said. We have the first one's legacy now, the real way spacefolding should be used. It's time to show the Watchers they can't control the galaxy anymore. He opened a channel to the approaching ships. Attention Watchers. We've found something you tried to hide. Want to talk about it? The Watcher ship stopped. For a long moment, there was silence. Then a familiar deep voice responded, You don't understand what you've discovered. Actually, Mike said, we understand perfectly. Question is, what will you do now that everyone can learn the truth? As his crew prepared for whatever came next, Mike felt strangely calm. Humans hadn't just proved they could build amazing ships. They discovered something even more important, the truth about freedom, knowledge, and the right of every race to grow in their own way. The real fight was just beginning. The standoff near the ancient station lasted 3 days. More ships kept arriving, not just Watcher vessels, but ships from dozens of other races who had detected the Unity's amazing jump. Another group requesting to dock, Tom reported from his communication station aboard the Unity. This time it's the Star people. Mike nodded. The Unity's hangar was already full of representatives from different alien races, all eager to learn what humans had discovered. Captain Rix rushed onto the Unity's bridge as soon as his ship docked. Is it true? He asked. You found the first one station? More than that, Mike said. We found proof of what the Watchers really are. In the ancient station's main hall, Mike and his crew showed the gathered aliens everything they'd discovered. Anna explained the original designs for spacefolding ships. Jack demonstrated how the first one's technology worked with any ship, not just special ones built by the Watchers. They've been lying to us for thousands of years, a crystal-skinned alien said, her red surface darkening with anger. Limiting our technology, controlling our development. And now they're blockading us, Lisa added, showing the sensor readings. Watcher ships surrounded them in a huge circle, weapons ready. They're afraid, Rick said. Afraid we'll tell everyone the truth. Too late for that, Mike said with a smile. He nodded to Tom, who pressed a button on his tablet. Across the galaxy, every communication channel lit up. The Unity had been broadcasting everything they found. Every race could now see the proof of the Watchers' lies. The Watchers' response came quickly. Their huge black ships moved closer, weapons powering up. You leave us no choice, their deep voice boomed. This knowledge must be contained. Prepare for elimination. But something unexpected happened. As the Watcher ships advanced, other ships moved to block their path. Dozens at first, then hundreds. Ships from every race that had been controlled by the Watchers. You can't eliminate us all, Mike broadcast back. And you can't stop this knowledge from spreading. The Unity's sensors detected new energy readings. The alien ships were changing their engines, using the first one's original designs that humans had shared. They're upgrading their ships right now. Jack said in amazement. The first ones made their technology so simple to use once you understand it. The Watcher ships fired their first shots. But the upgraded alien ships were ready. They moved in ways the Watchers had never seen, using spacefolds to dodge the attacks easily. Unity crew, battle stations, Mike ordered. Time to show them what human ships can really do. The Unity shot forward, its enhanced engine creating folds within folds in space. They moved like water flowing around rocks, impossible to hit. Other ships followed their lead, learning the new movements quickly. Focus on their engine systems, Mike broadcast to their allies. The Watchers rely on controlling other races' technology. Let's see how they handle losing control of their own. The battle was unlike anything any race had seen before. Ships folded space in new ways, appearing and disappearing, striking at the Watchers' weak points. The First One station watched silently as their true legacy was finally used, not to control, but to free. Watcher ships are powering down. Lisa reported excitedly. Their engines are failing. One by one, the mighty Watcher ships went dark. Without their control over space-folding technology, they weren't nearly as powerful as they had pretended to be. This is the Unity to all Watcher ships, Mike broadcast. Your choice is simple. Leave now, give up your control over other races, or face a galaxy united against you. Minutes passed in tense silence. Then the Watcher ships began to retreat, their giant black forms disappearing into deep space. The celebration that followed was unlike anything humans had ever seen. Ships from hundreds of races surrounded the ancient station, their crews coming aboard to share in the victory. What happens now? Rix asked Mike as they watched the celebrations. Now every race develops as they choose, Mike replied. The First Ones wanted us all to learn and grow freely. That's what we'll do. Anna approached them, holding her tablet. Captain, you need to see this. We found more data in the station's computers. The First Ones, they didn't just discover space folding. They found hints of other technologies, other ways to move through space. Things even they hadn't fully understood. Mike smiled. Sounds like we all have a lot more discovering to do. Together this time, Rix added. No race controlling the others. Just everyone learning and sharing what they find. The Unity's crew gathered on their bridge, watching the massive fleet of Allied ships through their window. Humanity had started this journey being mocked for their simple ships. Now they had helped free the galaxy. Setting course for Earth, Lisa said. Though I guess with these new drives, home isn't as far away as it used to be. No, Mike agreed. But we've got a lot of work ahead of us. The galaxy's about to change, and Earth needs to be ready. The Unity jumped away from the ancient station, leading a fleet of allies back to Earth. The age of the Watchers was over. The age of discovery was just beginning. 10 days after the battle at the First One station, Earth's shield of folded space flickered and opened. Through the gap came the Unity, leading a fleet of over 1,000 alien ships. Earth Defense Command, this is Captain Mike Thompson, Mike broadcast. Request permission to bring our allies through. The response was immediate, permission granted, Unity. Welcome home. As the fleet entered Earth space, people in cities across the planet looked up at their new sky. Ships of every size and shape filled the view, all of them now powered by the true form of space-folding technology. They're going to need somewhere to land, Lisa said, looking at the crowded space around Earth. Already handled, Mike replied. Look at the moon. New structures had appeared on the moon's surface during their absence, massive landing areas and temporary living spaces, built using the shield's hidden construction systems. Humanity's been busy while we were gone, Jack said with pride. The Unity docked at Earth Space Station, which had grown 3 times larger. Dr. Brian Porter, head of Earth's Science Council, waited for them. The data you sent ahead changed everything, Brian told them as they walked through the station's new halls. We've already started building ships using the First One's designs. But there's something else you need to see. He led them to a new section of the station. Through a massive window, they could see a ship under construction. It was unlike anything they'd ever seen, not just bigger than the Unity, but shaped differently, as if it was designed to fold space itself. "We call it the Legacy," Brian said. "Built using everything we learned from the first one's data. But it's not just a ship, it's a mobile station, a teaching center. A place where all races can come to learn and develop together." "The Watchers won't like that," Tom said. "The Watchers have bigger problems," a familiar voice said. They turned to see Captain Rix approaching with several other alien leaders. "News from the outer systems. Their own people are rebelling. Seems we weren't the only ones they were controlling." "How many races have asked to join the learning program?" Mike asked Brian. "All of them," Brian replied. "Every race that was under Watcher control wants to learn the true way of spacefolding. And they all want to share their own technology too. Things the Watchers never let them develop fully." Anna studied the Legacy's design on a nearby screen. "These power systems, they're not just for spacefolding." "No," Brian agreed. "The first ones believed that spacefolding was just the beginning. They found evidence of other dimensions, other ways to move through space and time. But they never got to explore it fully before the Watchers betrayed them. And now we all get to explore it together," Rix added. The next few days were filled with meetings as representatives from every race gathered on Earth. They formed new agreements, not about controlling technology, but about sharing it safely and helping each race develop at their own pace. The Unity's crew stayed busy too. They helped install the new drives on other ships, taught other races about the first one's technology, and prepared for their next mission. "The Legacy will be ready in 1 month," Brian told them during a briefing. "And Earth has chosen its first crew." Mike looked at his team. They all nodded, knowing what was coming. "The Unity's crew has been selected to lead the Legacy's first mission," Brian continued. "You'll take representatives from every race on a journey of exploration. The first ones left maps to other stations, other discoveries they had to abandon when the Watchers turned against them." "What about Earth's defense?" Lisa asked. "With the Watchers still out there, Earth isn't defenseless anymore," Rick said. "The shield technology you developed has been improved. Now every planet can protect itself. And with all races working together, the Watchers can't threaten anyone." That night, Mike stood at his favorite window on Earth Space Station. He could see the Legacy under construction, its strange new shape promising adventures they couldn't yet imagine. Around it, ships from 100 worlds worked together, sharing knowledge that had been hidden for too long. "Ready for the next step?" Anna asked, joining him at the window. Mike nodded. The first ones wanted races to grow and learn together. Now we finally have that chance. "And to think," Anna said with a smile, "it all started because some aliens mocked our simple ships." The Legacy's frame gleamed in the starlight, a symbol of everything humanity had helped achieve. They hadn't just proved themselves to the galaxy, they had helped free it. And their greatest adventures were still to come. The Legacy's launch day arrived 6 weeks after the Unity's return to Earth. The massive new ship hung above Earth like a silver dream, its unusual shape catching sunlight in ways that made it seem to glow. Captain Mike Thompson stood on the Legacy's bridge, larger and more advanced than any he'd seen before. His crew worked at their stations, now joined by aliens from 20 different races who had become part of the ship's permanent crew. "All systems ready," Jack reported from his engineering station, where he worked alongside a crystal-skinned alien engineer. "New space-folding drives are at full power. Navigation systems online," Lisa added. A star person named Raul worked with her, combining their race's different ways of seeing space. "Communication networks active," Tom said. His station now connected to every race's communication systems, allowing instant contact across the galaxy. Dr. Anna White entered the bridge, excited. "Captain, you need to see this. The first one's data cores we installed, they're showing us something new." On the main screen, ancient star maps appeared. But they weren't just maps of space, they showed other layers of reality, places between the stars that no one had explored before. The first ones found doorways, Anna explained. Natural folds in space that lead somewhere else. They never had the chance to explore them before the Watchers took control. Now we'll explore them together, said Captain Rix, who had joined the Legacy's crew as a representative of the Star People. Every race adding their own knowledge and skills. The launch countdown began. Ships from every allied race formed an honor guard around the Legacy. On Earth below, people gathered to watch the historic moment. "This is Earth Control," came Brian's voice. "Legacy, you are cleared for launch. Good luck out there." Mike looked at his mixed crew of humans and aliens. "Everyone ready to make history?" They all nodded. Mike pressed the launch control, and the Legacy's new engines hummed to life. But this wasn't the familiar sound of space folding. This was something new, the sound of space itself parting before them. The Legacy moved forward, gathering speed. Around them, space didn't just fold, it opened, revealing paths between the stars that no one had seen before. "First jump ready," Jack called out. "These readings, they're like nothing we've seen before." "All Allied ships, maintain safe distance," Mike broadcast. "We don't know exactly what will happen when we activate the new drive." The Legacy's engines pulsed. For a moment, everything seemed to freeze. Then reality itself seemed to split open, creating a gateway of swirling energy. "That's it!" Anna shouted. "That's what the first ones described, a dimensional gateway." "All systems stable," Jack reported. "We can do this, Captain." Mike took a deep breath. This was more than just a space jump. They were about to go somewhere no race had gone before. "Legacy crew, prepare for dimensional transit," he ordered. "Let's see what's on the other side." The Legacy moved forward into the gateway. The view through the windows changed, showing impossible colors and patterns as they passed through the barrier between dimensions. When they emerged, they found themselves in a place that defied description. Stars shone with new colors, and space itself seemed alive with energy. "Location check?" Mike asked. Lisa and Ral worked together at their station. We're halfway across the galaxy," Lisa said in amazement. "But that's not all. These readings suggest we're also seeing a different layer of space-time. More ships can follow us through that gateway," Anna added. "We've created a permanent path. The first one's data shows how to create more paths, connecting different parts of the galaxy. The Watchers tried to keep us apart, limit our development," Rick said. "Instead, they pushed us to work together and achieve something greater than any one race could do alone." As the Legacy's crew explored their new surroundings, messages poured in from Earth and their allies. Everyone wanted to know what they'd found, what they'd seen. "Tell them," Mike said to Tom, "tell them this is just the beginning." The first ones knew that space had more secrets than any one race could discover alone. That's why they wanted all races to develop freely and work together. The Legacy spent the next month exploring the new dimension, creating navigation routes and safety protocols. Other ships followed, crews from different races learning to work together just as the Legacy's crew had. When they finally returned to Earth, they found the galaxy changed again. The Watchers had retreated to their home systems, their power broken. Without their control, races were developing new technologies at amazing speeds, sharing knowledge and working together. In Earth's orbit, a new structure was taking shape, the Galactic Academy of Science and Exploration. Built by all races together, it would be a place where anyone could come to learn, to share, to discover. "Hard to believe it all started with them mocking our simple ships," Anna said as they watched construction ships working on the Academy. "Sometimes the smallest things lead to the biggest changes," Mike replied. "They thought our ships were primitive because they didn't understand something important." "What's that?" asked a young alien crew member. Mike smiled. That the greatest technology isn't about controlling others or having the most power. It's about bringing people together, helping each other grow, and exploring the unknown side by side. The Legacy floated in orbit, its new shape a symbol of everything that had changed. Humanity had proved themselves, yes, but they'd done something more important. They'd helped create a future where no race would be held back, where everyone could reach for the stars together. And somewhere out there, in dimensions yet unexplored, new adventures waited for them all.